we're starting with mortgage process 101.
Right. And just to give you a broad overview, or like an umbrella of who we are and what we do. We're mortgage loan originators or mortgage loan officers, and our job in the entire mortgage transaction is to interact with our clients to find out what your story is. So it's really important that we discuss with you exactly what your ideas are, who you are, what encompasses your credit, if something major has happened in your life or anything like that. So everybody has their own story. So our job is to find out that story, to package that story and submit it into our underwriter so that it makes sense for our underwriter to say, yes, we can lend you money. So during the process, we gather that story, we package it up, we submit it into our processor. Our processor's job is to fine-tune that, to cross-check it, do all of the background checking, pull everything together, and then present it to our underwriters so that we can approve your loan and actually get you into the home of your choice. So that's kind of a broad overview of who we are and what we do.
Yes. So right now we're going to start with the credit pre-approval process and Credit Karma. Now, Credit Karma is a great tool for you to use to kind of give you a general overview of what's going on with your credit. But unfortunately, it's not something that we use or mortgage companies use to approve or pre-approve a mortgage. And the reason for that is because it's just a completely different credit model. It's a different tool. So we cannot use that. We do use the 3 credit reporting companies, which is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So those are the 3 that we use, which gives us a very accurate overview of what your credit looks like. But at this, during this process, we're going to be gathering, just some, preliminary information like name, address, phone number, social, birth date, employment history, all of that kind of stuff. The reason why we're gathering this information is because we need this information in order to get a correct credit history. So it's really important that you're very transparent in this process, that you're honest, so that there's no surprises for you and no surprises that are for us. For example, let's say you lost your job a week ago, or you purchased a vehicle a week ago and it's not showing up in your credit report. Those aren't necessarily deal breakers in this process, but it is information that we're going to need to know up front, because we will find that information out later. Okay, so just because it doesn't show up today, or we don't know about it today, when we do a verification of employment later down the line in, let's say, 30 days, we'll know whether or not you're working. And then we'll also find out about, via a recent vehicle purchase or a major credit card purchase or something like that. So anyway, with that being said, you're going to also want to start gathering some initial documentation, just pulling together your paperwork so you don't have to do so much later when we ask for everything, such as your pay stubs, taxes, and stuff like that. At this time, it's a good time to think about how much you can afford. So, what do you think, Peggy?
Well, you want to put your budget together, and
absolutely.
Not everybody budgets, but you have a rough idea of what you'd be comfortable spending on a mortgage payment every month. Now, when we're talking a mortgage payment, we're talking the principal and interest, which is basically the loan, and then in addition to that, we're normally escrowing money for taxes and insurance. That would be the property taxes divided by 12. And the home insurance divided by 12, and we're going to put that money into a savings account for you that's attached to your mortgage. So every month when you make that full mortgage payment, it includes the principal and interest, which is the loan, plus those taxes and insurance payments, so that you're not short come the end of the year when those bills come up again. So, but we need information from you in order to do that, or to come up with a purchase price that we can advise you to go and start shopping for.
Yeah, like for example, Peggy mentioned lifestyle and stuff like that. Do you like to go out to eat a lot? Do you have kids and you're paying for daycare? These are things that we don't see on the credit report. So this is a good time to start thinking of that. Like, you need to include that into your monthly expenses so that we can get a good idea of what the cost of the house and what your monthly payment you would be comfortable with.
In addition to that, we're going to back into the loan based on that comfort zone. Now, we may tweak that with you either up or down and discuss what a reasonable figure is. We're also going to want to know, what price range you're kind of thinking of. That way we know what your expectations are. And then we know where, if you tell me that you want a $300,000 home purchase, but you can only afford an $800 mortgage payment. There's a huge discrepancy there. And we need to then fine tune that to have it make sense for you and bring you into reality. So
that's right. And think about your down payment as well. We're going to need to know where that money's coming from because we do check those deposits. So, think about, do you want a 3.5% down? Do you want a 5%? What?
And there are loan programs with 0 down, depending on if you qualify for it. So we'll look at that and explore all of those different options with you and fine tune and tweak that loan program for you.
We sure do. And so at this point, now we've gathered all this information, we've put it into our system, and what we're looking for right now is what's called an automatic underwriting or desktop underwriting. So it's basically an automatic yes or no to continue at this point, or yes or maybe continue at this point, okay? And so that's what we're looking for, and that's called a pre-approval. So it's basically pre-approving you to continue on in this process. It's not the complete approval, because don't forget, we still have to gather a lot of other information as we go. But right now it's a pre-approval. So we can do a letter for you anytime during this process, which you can present to the seller once you find the house that you want to buy. So anything else you wanted to add to that?
No, that should do it. I think. Any questions?
If you would like to see the full video, please email me at trish.toutloff@CIBMmortgage.com or give me a call here at the office at 920-457-5626.